boy, they set expectations really high. I hope I can meet them. But the reality is this project isn't my project alone. It's the project of the veterans, the guys men and women that are in the project, and we did this project together. So it's their project, it's for them, it's actually our project. So I think a fitting way to start my speaking section is to actually start by introducing you to the honorees, and I'd like to ask them to the 5 guys to make their way. You guys don't have to get on stage, but if we can maybe gather just in the front here, I wanna introduce you. While they're making their way up to the stage, I want to mention that they are all combat vets who served in either Iraq and or Afghanistan. And they're all standing up here. I'm actually going to wait till they get up here. Who are you missing? Andy, Evan. First and foremost, the reason that all of these guys are up here is because they're beautiful. They're beautiful on the inside and the outside. They're in this project because of who they are as people, and they're in this project because of their service and their sacrifice. So please welcome, I'm going to start to my right, Andy Kingsley, Corporal, U.S. Army. Evan Reichenthal, Lance Corporal, United States Marine Corps. Ronnie Jimenez, Staff Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. Andrew Biggio, Sergeant, United States Marine Corps. And last but definitely not least, Nikki Frazio, Lance Corporal, United States Marine Corps. Next, we have a very important honoree and guest speaker. I'd like to introduce to the stage Colonel Shane Tomko, whose nickname is Rhino, and I have not asked him why. Although he kind of looks like a rhino.
I'm going to take certain liberties because I think I can fight everybody in the audience. I want to thank this wonderful lady, a product of Vietnam, and her father, a product of Vietnam. For the first time, our Vietnam vets were the first ones to come back and have a voice. It's the first generation of warriors to come back and have a voice about the conflict. Never before. Can you imagine back in World War II when our vets came back from the Island Hopping Campaign or operations in Europe, if they were looking in the skyline, if they were looking at the treetops, looking for snipers, at that point our mental health was such to where they'd be lobotomized, they'd be institutionalized. It was our Vietnam vets, and it was your dad who came home, and he reared such a beautiful young lady to have even a greater voice to say, this is who we are. This is who we are, we're warriors. And it's a good thing that we're warriors, so you get a nice events like this. None of us want you to see what we have seen. None of us wants you to endure what we have endured. It's a longitudinal fight. A longitudinal fight. Because we carried that moment, that split second on the objective, where it was life or death, where we saw the carnage of what war brings. And we carry it. We carry it in our hearts. We carry it in our minds. We carry it in our dreams. Some of us carry it physically. But we all carry a piece and parcel of that. And it's a huge burden. And what the general speaks of something local. You know, I fly all over the world. I've got 30,000 wounded, ill, and injured Marines that I care for on a daily basis. And I move at the speed of war. But it's these rabble-rousers from Boston. It's the homeboys and the homegirls, to where we have a contract with you. You gave us your son or your daughter, and we made him stand on the yellow footprints, or we made him go to Army Basic, or we had them go to Ranger School, or Jump School, or Dive School. We said, you know what, I'm going to take care of your son or daughter. Well, sometimes your sons or daughters come back a little bit different. Not worse, but different. Sometimes broken, sometimes challenged. And it's that spirit that we got in New England. You know, bring the nor'easter. Bring the perfect storm. I'm going to kick it in the ass. And I'm going to mount up, and we're going to jump on Harleys, and we're going to ride down the road, and we're going to kick fenders. And if you're not like us, then stand by, because we're not going to lose. That's being a Red Sox fan. We're the eternal optimists. Now I'll share a secret with you. What I know is my rugby name for college. I played prop. When I was in college, I was a piano performance major and a voice major. So I'm the biggest chick you'll ever see. So I go from playing Beethoven etudes and Chopin etudes, and I go to be a Marine, and a reconnaissance Marine, and a special operations Marine, and a Ranger. And I go through DevGru, and I go through the CAG, and in my heart I'm still an artist. So when I saw the work that you have done on behalf of our warriors, not everybody played high school football. There were those of us who were in the stands, who were in the band. And I want to attack that line of operations with every ounce of vigor that I have. And what she has done with art is the most altruistic venture you can ever imagine. Because when you give of art, you give a piece of yourself. You give a piece of yourself. When Beethoven wrote the Moonlight Sonata, he wrote it for a blind girl who could not see the moon. And he wanted to articulate what that looked like to her. But it's the second movement that is so violent and is so tumultuous that you sense he feels her pain. It was the Chopin that wrote the etudes and the March Militaires of Napoleon sweeping through Europe. And you can feel it. It's Rachmaninoff that wrote the C-sharp minor prelude and the G minor prelude of the bells of the Kremlin, the Bolshevik Revolution, and the passion that stirred and it inspired for a population. It is the art, ladies and gentlemen. When Chairman Mao made his march, he eradicated all art. He took away all music. He took away all history. Only here do we hold so true to something so beautiful and unimaginable that it inspires the human spirit and inspires the American spirit. But art. So, madam, I cannot thank you enough for what you inspired my warriors. And for my warriors, I can think of no finer avenue. No finer avenue. There's no greater thing you can give than art, because you give of yourself. And you give a piece of your heart. And you give a piece of your soul every time you derive something new. And no one can ever steal that. And no one ever can take that away. And it perpetuates itself for all time, that you all will be famous. Whether it's now or 50 years from now, you will always be held in such high, artistic, and beautiful regard. So my warriors, where you came from, I love you. And I honor you. And I will fight to the devil and back on behalf of you every day that I get to wear this pretty little outfit I got on. But keep up the art. Never lose the inspiration, never lose your soul, never lose your passion. Because once we lose our passion, we have nothing. And once we lose our passion, then we lose who we are as an America. So, madam, you have my endearing devotion, my love and affection. I love what you do. I love what you have done. I love what you have come from. And I love what you inspire in my warriors who might have never, ever known that line of operations. So, ladies and gentlemen, please hug these warriors tonight. And I thank you very much.